my
Hey
god.
guys. Oh, hi. What is up with
Hey
Richie?
Balu, what's up?
Richie is doing the Spider-Man thing over here. Very quickly, can we just go around introducing ourselves for the ones who do not know you?
My name is Mahima Joanna, but they call me Elsie, and I helped out with the choreo team and a little bit of the editing part.
Hi, my name is Shweta, and I was a part of the game team.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Richard. People who are close to me call me Richie.
Yeah, hi guys, this is Gary and I play keyboards and bass and I helped at mixing all the songs for Youth Alive for SFJ.
Hi guys, I'm Rufus and I helped out in the worship team.
My name is Becky and I helped out with the choreo for the SFJ.
Hi guys, I'm Roshil and I helped with the worship team coordinating.
Hey guys, my name is Glendon. I was one of the coordinators.
What's up guys, my name is Josh and I helped in putting together all the videos.
I'm Rachel. I was the person who helped out with MCing a little bit of the games as well.
We have MCs, we have the choreo team, we have the games team, we have the coordinator over here. We have two people who we are missing out on, Debbie and Durga. We know that what we saw at Youth Alive, at SFJ, that was mostly done by this team that is right here. Majority of it was done by this team that is here. We had Rushil who was coordinating worship, Gary and Rufus helping out with the soundtracks, Josh and Harshit obviously helping out with the videos. So we would want to hear from you. Okay, firstly, let's go to the choreo team. I know you guys have been giving your best, and although there is a lockdown going on, you still are not giving up on doing choreos at Youth Alive and at SFJ. We've seen 3 different choreos. So, how stressful is it coming up with such a thing?
I think first when the idea came of doing a virtual choreo, I was very skeptical about it because it's so difficult to teach and also learn. I don't know, it just happened, that everything clicked so well.
So I was recording videos for the choreo, breaking down the steps and sending it to people for them to learn. And they gave their 100%. So that was awesome.
The most stressful thing was getting the videos up on time and processed to HD in time.
So if you Google it, how long does it take for a video to process on YouTube? It will tell you sometimes it may take half an hour, sometimes it may take an hour, or sometimes it may take a day also. So by God's grace, everything was processed on HD and that was our main focus.
How about the games department? I'm sure you guys must have thought day and night what games can be done on a Zoom call. How did you guys manage to do that?
First of all, I'd like to correct, not day and night. We would only plan in the nights.
Yeah.
So every, almost like I think thrice a week or something, we would get on calls at around post 10:30 because I think Rach and Richie used to work so late. So we would just, all our planning happened during the night.
And I think we went through so many ideas, like literally.
How much ever I do, it's always comforting because if I'm sitting one night and I get all the parts together and I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then I send it to Harshitana. I'll just message Harshitana, I sent it. This will be at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And Harshitana immediately will be like, oh, Rufus, okay, got it, thanks. It's like, I'll feel like I was working and then I realized there's so many more people also working. Especially about SFJ, the thing that blew my mind was the number of people that were involved, the number of clips. Like, if you think about it, each song from each musician was a single clip, and then the word and so much more that just blows my mind that we were especially this team was able to pull it off.
Glendon, how were you able to oversee all of this? What was going on in the coordinators' minds when y'all were planning out SFJ?
The secret was I just left it to Debbie and Durga to do it. So no, but I think it was a very different sort of situation because the last thing that I had coordinated was a youth camp. And that required a lot of physical movement, like you had to be on your feet. But for this, it was more about brainstorming. So that was basically our planning was centered around that. We kind of thought of what will give young people, what are the most hard-hitting topics, what are the things which they're interested in, and how can we put it across in the best way possible.
I won't say it was stressful, but it was a big task.
Have our worship team coordinator, our Youth Alive worship team coordinator right here. Rushil, tell us about how a guest artist, there's so much of things you have to you need to keep in mind while talking to them, so many guidelines that you have to give them. Can you just share a little bit of how was the experience of coordinating the worship for SFJ?
I'm really thankful that we have a team, that is always ready to say yes when it comes to the guest artist. Sam Alex is really a nice guy, man. I didn't have any problems at all when I asked him a few things to do, like stand up and sing, so that the young people may interact. He was ready to do all of that. God's grace alone. I never faced any hiccups with coordinating
and such an amazing job planning out the whole session. That was like engaging right from day one. Day one was like mind blowing, like whoa kind of an experience. Apart from SFJ, every Saturday you see a Youth Alive service. It is basically done by these people over here. I mean, these people have the biggest hand behind that. One thing that we wanted to know from you all is, and all 3 days they were so good. What was the best part of Virtual Wave?
I have an answer. I like the worship and the workshops. I try to watch as many as I can, like attend all of them.
I need to think.
My favorite part was Jeremy Aaron's workshop on pornography. Especially because in the current scenario, I was actually quite burdened about how there was such a spike in the number of people who were watching a lot of pornographic content. So I feel that was such a powerful move.
But I think one of the things that I would really, at least the second and third day, I would come back to see is the chat section on the right side of the screen. It was so entertaining. I don't know who these kids are because they have pseudo names, but they were on a roll.
The fact that we could pull off 3 days worth content in such a short span of time was approximately exactly 2 weeks from the time we started connecting with guests and all the speakers and the bands. And within 4 days, we finished edit for 3 days, 3 evenings.
I did not feel like the online thing was a barrier from last SFJ to this SFJ, like especially regarding like the word, the worship, and how God at least touched me. It was just the same as it was when I was physically present at church.
Okay, so any funny instances that you will, look back on and ROFL all the time?
Moment I was just really going through the section, and this one time I just started to get into a contemplation, like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like this one guy just commented, "Sir, you look like Chaka," and I was like, oh shoot! I thought, okay, time to leave Youth Alive. I'm done with all of this. I took that so seriously, and I was like, oh shoot! I went and told my parents. I told everybody that I knew. I had to go through counseling and all that. I watched the Going Through Depression by that pastor from Vijayawada the previous day.
What did you tell your parents? I'm curious.
I think my favorite moment was the game that happened with all the YA leaders.
Yeah.
Wherein they went dressed up as different Bible characters. Oh my God, that was such a funny game.
Especially when Abraham goes to kill his son, that kid's face, that he's so scarred for life.
Okay guys, so here there's another question that we wanted to ask you. We have a lot of churches going online, virtual. As the weeks have gone by, you've been learning newer things. So if there is this one thing that you would like to share with someone watching there who would want to improve their church experience, what would that be?
For finishing songs at a quick pace, so first thing I'd say that organize your workflow. Make sure that you're coordinating with your worship leader and you have all the lyrics and the structure placed out, so that once you have your tracks in place, that you can compare and contrast whether everything is falling in place, and make sure that all the instrumentalists are proper in alignment with the metronome.
Just like a simple thing is that when you're especially when you're having church online, I feel like a lot of people have to put in a lot of work. As much as possible, we have to stick to our deadlines, because if you delay your work, then like there's this whole chain of where other people's work get delayed.
I know when it comes to coordination, you set an expectation with them saying, hey, we need this at a certain time.
Yeah. So one thing I would want to say is not more on technical lines, but on helping around at church. If somebody over here, is working full time or is working freelance, I say help the church, because this is the time the church needs you. If you can do some editing work, if you can do some, if you can mix tracks, the church needs you. If you can shoot something, the church needs you. Before SFJ was going on, while the planning was going on, I've got a couple of projects with big money, but after SFJ, I didn't take up those projects because I know I had SFJ coming around the corner. And trust me, there's no satisfaction greater than giving your sweat and your hard work in the presence of the Lord. This is the moment when the church needs you. And if you're having a second thought, just ignore whatever you're thinking the second thought is, and just go for it for helping church, because God will reward you in a greater and mighty way, because you do not understand what kind of people you're reaching to. You never know that the work that you're doing, if you're a musician, if you're shooting a video, if you're editing a video, or if you're mixing a track, you never know at what point, with what element God touches, where things are touching people's hearts. So if it's you listening to it, I think you just need to go with it and help the church.
Like doing what you're doing online is not just replicating what you used to do at church or at your fellowship. So be a little thoughtful about the entire flow of the video. Slip in some fun moments, slip in some videos here and there, fun elements. Involve your team as much as possible. Show your team.
And there you have it, guys. You have got the tips from the very best that we have. Guys watching, this is not just the team, okay? We had a multitude of volunteers working behind the scenes. We give a big salute to Pastor Milton especially, because he was the one who had the faith that we can pull this off even though we are virtual. Although most of us, we were like really worried about it, still Pastor Milton's vision was, is what happened in those past 3 days. That was it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. We love knowing all about how you guys made SFJ happen. God bless you guys, and that's a wrap.
Good night.
Thank you, Karu. Bye bye.